between, there are 3 strings. I put only something in between 2 of the strings. So this has some different multiphonic sound. Now it's gone. Ah. Try out.
What material did you use?
This is from radio wire, from cable to put to the microphone or to the loudspeakers, cut in pieces, and then find the right place. Just to give an example in the lower part, because there is a kind of, how do you call this, reliquie. Reliquie, wie sagt man auf Englisch?
Relics.
You call it. And where is the manager of this concert? These 2 ladies and
Ana Maria?
yeah? Who announced the program? Is she here somewhere? You are here, okay. Now, this one, only this one. I use because of it's a long instrument. So I use these big ones, very rarely. And this is eine Reliquie. Damit hat John Cage 1972 in Berlin das Klavier präpariert. And I stole the green ones. And since I don't need too many of them, so for example now, I remove it for very, very short space. And I decide where I put it to get a double tone, 2 tones, so-called multiphonic. You can produce it by singing, you know that. It's the same phenomenon. You just put half of the intonation of the strings, you get the sound, and then one of the overtones. This technique is used in the Indian tanpura with an ivory stick, and through that the string comes into movement, and so it gets overtones out. And a lot of other instruments. So just very simple. But this is only one of 100 different aspects what John Cage tuned. John Cage tuned, as he said, no, this is not in the interview. I asked him, yeah, he had to go to the kitchen of his wife, and he looked to take things, and then they put it in the piano. And then Lou Harrison entered from California and said, "Oh shit, I didn't find that. This was a great invention." So a lot of people now using prepared piano. In the 50s, it was a subject for open concepts of music which are not written down or which are free concerto for prepared piano and ensemble. This was a shock for West Europa or even Europe, and Cage produced this anarchic thing which happens by chance. And every serial composer got shocked. What? He's doing what happens? This is not form. Yes, this became often a form. And so let it happen was when I saw today an exhibition, and I met him there, seeing it in a great contrast to the building where this happening Fluxus exhibition is placed. I sent a mail to my family. I'm sitting on the roof of Ceausescu Palace. Enjoy happenings. Is it possible? So now you know about preparation material and about the change of instrumentation, of sound of the piano, which I took 40 years before when I was inspired to improvise not only on the overused sound of piano. So you cannot do anything more, but everything is done. Even if you try to burn the instrument, it happened already. It has been done, or killed, or put in pieces. That was also a Fluxus action to bring an instrument into end. But it was not only destructive, it was kind of long discussion starting what happens artificial in arts that way. And the other thing was music which lasts. You know something? Something is not the last piece tonight, but it is a piece, it lasts. Means it's boring long, you know. It lasts so many minutes that you think maybe you want to go now. But after 10 minutes you start to change your listening. And then, funny enough, that then you lose the time of your watch, and sometimes you think, 20 minutes, no, 1 hour, what happened? But this point to get there, sometimes it's not the simplest, it's very difficult. So if you hear a piece from Morten Feldman, it lasts 3.5 hours. That's of course a bit, quite much. But today it lasts only less than a quarter, isn't it? 3/4? I forgot to look on the watch before I started to control myself. I shouldn't play longer than 8, or thinking like that. These are obstacles.
Feldman is much more minimal than you.
Pardon?
Feldman is much more minimal than you.
Yeah, means you can, I mean, I don't speak about that to take over the chords of Morten Feldman. They are very complex situations. But minimal or maximal, as Terry said, my music is not minimal, my music is maximal. They didn't like this case of, it came from the picture, from monochromic art. Minimal art was a painting of one color.
Gamelan, there was some that are bit like gamelan music when you played. Was that wrong?
Also African percussion, right?
Why do you think of that? Because you know it.
Why gamelan?
Yeah, if you don't know gamelan, you will not discover. But why is it gamelan? If I take a so-called out of tune scale, the gamelan has a scale which is not the same like a piano, of course. And then I make. So I repeat the same melody in a double speed. This is what the gender instruments are doing, keeping one monochromic chord of 2 scales. That makes you being associated. And another thing which you can associate is a special technique of my fingers, which has not to do with the sound of the piano, but I would play like this if I had a strings. And I used only 4 fingers in playing very fast things. And I learned that from some guy from Mali. He is a king. He is in the 7th generation a kora harp player. Kora harp. That's a great instrument. They have
Very minimal.
yeah, I mean, minimal is nothing invented. It's something in there or there in for different cultures. But you are I openly you ask any question to me. You have the chance now about the piece, about the not piece.
So it is said that music is supposed to reflect the reality, the present reality. What kind of reality are you suggesting through your music?
Not any music does that. Do you want that music does this reflection?
No.
Do you want it, or you think it is automatically or natural like this? That
No.
music reflects our
No, but music
situation.
music does not necessarily reflect a situation, a social situation, but an inner situation somehow. It's
Okay.
not something
Yes.
exterior, it's something inside.
So I could answer, okay? It is my obstacle is that I think what I will do. And my obstacle is that I thought what I have done. Because then I control me in thinking, now I have to do something because I remember something I've done, so I should build a form, so I repeat it. I'm thinking. And when I think, I don't know what happens, shall I look? It's too long. Do they get, it's boring. If somebody coughs, you really feel it. You are part of this performance. If this situation is not working, I can do what it's exchange.
It's more like a stream of consciousness.
Maybe, but if you think in meditation, then you try to remove your mind thoughts, you know? I should not think.
Yeah.
No, I think that I should not think. 100 times you think that you think, and what you do not to think.
So you basically let go and just let the energy flow.
Okay, but it's not that difficult. But it is a big obstacle behind that I do it in front of somebody. That's a personal thing sometimes, but on the other side, today it happens sometimes, but not every time, every moment. I don't know whether you felt it. Sometimes it happened. That means I was on this
in the same tune.
The knife was very sharp. That I was not looking for in future. I was not coming from back. I was jawohl.
So do you think
into the eternal now, the Jetzt, as we Germans say, das Jetzt. And funny enough, that two guys who are now becoming 100, because of them I'm going around now. Two with letter C, Celi Bidake and John Cage, read the same book in the 30s about Zen meditation from Suzuki. And these two old guys taught me not to think and not to think into the future, but in conducting, in thinking of music, it is there and it comes and you let it be open. And this is what John said, open the window, everything what comes in is part of my music. Not my music, that music. He gave up to say, I compose. So this is maybe the social background, to get this communicated with people to listen.
Sorry, in the now, the yes, is there a relation between that and entertainment somehow? Because I'm thinking of the cultural industry, that essay by Adorno where he says that ethnic music is not made for entertainment. I don't know shocking, but it is made for resisting those sorts of practices and depression. But like in the now and entertainment, is there a link or is there no link?
What does mean entertainment?
Like music that is supposed to make you feel good, like a party music.
This we call functional music, or I've sometimes called it New Age music, because this was a mistake. To think, I meditate when I listen to music. This is not working. I can play you music but I must finish. So-called meditation music, which seems to do any effect. Maybe
Do you need help?
No, it's very old, 40 years old job. And I shouldn't lose a few of them, because if I have a big grand piano, sometimes I need to decide which one I take.
So do you stop thinking when you're playing?
Thanks for this. I try. No, if I try, it's wrong. Because trial is the wrong approach. Of course I try.
How do you do it then?
Huh?
How do you do it then?
I get all the circumstances quite organized. I don't behave, or I don't want to have the, and we expect something. I am happy that I get prepared very well with Kritsu today, and that I knew the thing will happen, that the instrument is in a good condition. And sometimes it's only in 20 minutes, 2 minutes, that I'm not thinking, or that it's really, it's not. But then I think, it went well, but it's already past. Okay, this was the moment. Do you know where you know, from where you know the situation? Do you know, you really should know from where you know this. Oh, you dreamed of that maybe. When you have sex, when you really have spiritual sex, or spiritual, that two guys, two persons, are in the same moment, no more waiting, no more coming, and you have to, and I'm too slow, I'm too long. You know what's the trouble. Oh, you seem not to know about that. Oh, sorry. I know quite much in my life. And sometimes very rare, that it happens. That is also the same situation. Then you forget the time. And it can't be a room where you watch yourself. You know, people, they watch themselves in this situation. Yeah, so maybe you know, or could come to know about that. Children know about
Transcendence? Something?
Yeah, you can call it like this, but then it's an expectation to transcend.
To transcend, yes. So it's just something like Zen applied into...
Yeah, but you think you have to go to Japan. The thing is, we have a medieval techniques of contemplation in our own culture as well. So Zen is meant, again, you have to, German Zen, that's like military, you know? Jawohl. And Zen-Meister hat gesagt, ich muss so sitzen. Okay, so gucken, so alles ganz streng machen. Wir Deutschen sind strenger als die Zen-Leute. Oh yes. Ne? This is... maybe we don't know Zen. Maybe also there are people that say these books are not helpful. But maybe you have a minute in which you forget thinking. That doesn't mean, oh, I forget thinking, I lose my reality. I should not, ich bin entwirklicht dann. That means, oh no, I should not lose the control. I don't know what happened. The thing is, of course you feel responsible for yourself because of the fact that it is very rare moments, and then in the end you say, okay, now you have done something on the piano, it's now getting too loud, then you control yourself and then you try to repair. Huh? But then when you listen to it sometimes, then you know yourself from playing, this was the minute where it happens, if there was any. And maybe this is what an actor or somebody who works with theater knows about the right breathing. If you find unconsciously an actor in the right position on the stage, and there are hundreds of people and they keep quiet, they don't know why, it's just a moment of, everybody knows, yes, this is happening. This is only a technique. And this also fits to this moment of jetzt. Also versucht auch das Jetzt.
Do you see yourself from outside sometimes?
Of course I have to. Not nice sometimes. Klar, natürlich. Of course. So it was funny, I met this poster of this evening. I just saw before I was coming in. And so, funny enough, there were names written of people where I was maybe definitely inspired through that I do things like that. For example, I will never forget to have been in a group working with Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, Intuitive Musik. That was like this, we were 5 or 6 people, great artists like Vinko Globoka on trombone, and free jazz people, Michel Portal, and Michael Vetter, who was almost a Zen monk that time. And we were sitting and everybody had a microphone, and everything went to the mix of Karl-Heinz. And Maestro Karl-Heinz, he decided in putting loud and off, what he liked. And then we making, so no, if we are freely doing it, you stop fingering at the mix. You don't manipulate it. And then we write a letter to GEMA. GEMA means the royalty, where you get money when it's broadcasted. And we said, we are part of the production. And then we had a big fight with him, because he said, no, you played my music. That's funny, huh? And then I also thought, why I do that, because I hope that this kind of free improvisation is much more taught and accepted as art, or as something what children can do, and we are telling them, du hast nicht geübt, you have to learn your notes or your scripts, and your fourth finger must be on B flat. And if they put like this, don't do that. Maybe not now, but in our times we had not to improvise or to follow. And also our Hochschule, I'm sitting 15 years in Hamburg in the Hochschule. Improvisation is a little subject, you know. It's not really. And for instrumentists, they say, you don't know. they can't do it and then this is not there. He only improvised. But no, you think that the piano is...